I am here to shoot a series of videos that's going to show you a haul I got from Half Price Books and Music. They rented out every year they rent out a hall at the Kentucky Expo Center. I mean, it's massive. There's no way you can look at everything, and I didn't even try. I just kind of made my sweep through each section until finally I was tired and gave up. But all the CDs I'm about to show you were $1, and it'll take me several videos to get through it. I'm going to jump right into it. This video is dedicated to Christian music, and it's the biggest stack that I got. Like I said, all these CDs were $1. When I go, I take about $100 with me at least, so because I know I'm going to find some good stuff. All right, so let's jump into it. Michael Omartian, Movie Moods. That is hard to say. It's called Movie Moods in the Twilight. 12 supernatural movie themes featuring piano and orchestra with music from the Twilight Saga, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Pan's Labyrinth, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Sixth Sense, and more. And I don't know anything about this, but it looked interesting. Michael Omartian, of course, is a world famous producer. I mean, he has produced a lot of big mainstream people, especially back in the 70s, 80s. I think he was even going to produce Russ Taff at one point. Well, he did produce the Imperials while Russ was there, and he was going to do Russ's solo album, first solo album, but I think he had produced Rod Stewart right about that time, and that album blew up big, and so Russ had to get another producer for his debut. But yeah, Michael Omartian has released some great Christian albums. So this is a little different for him, but we'll check that out. Let's start cranking a little bit here. All right, the next one is I guess the Black Gospel section. The J. Moss Project. Don't know this gentleman, but I'll check people out for $1. I didn't see any names on the CD that I recognized immediately, but there's the back. Now this next gentleman I've heard of, Fred Hammond. This is Fred Hammond and Radical for Christ. The album is called The Spirit of David. So this will be a great worship album, praise and worship. Now, of course, who's the biggest family in Black Gospel music? Probably the Winans. I found Angie and Debbie. This is on Capitol. I'm assuming these are sisters. And this is a 1993 recording. Angie and Debbie. And then, of course, we all know CeCe Winans. Or we should all know her. What a great voice. This is Alone in His Presence. It is a 1995 recording on Sparrow. I really should have turned all these before I started shooting. And of course, the debut, I believe this is the debut. It's BB and CeCe Winans, Heaven. It was their debut as a they broke out together, brother and sister uh, duo. Then both went solo. I love CC, but I am a massive BB Winans fan. Love his voice, but CC's pretty awesome too. Next, this would be Christian pop. Kim Boyce, This I Know. 80s Christian pop. This is on Myrrh Records. And this intrigued me a little bit. Sandy Patty and Kathy Tricoli. Sandy, of course, has that kind of almost operatic soprano style, whereas Kathy Tricoli, excuse me, she has kind of more of a smoky alto. And here they are doing, this is a celebration of classical popular song from Garland to Gershwin. And it's standards, which surprised me as well. Nothing to see on the inside. Twila Paris, Cry for the Desert. Seems like there was a song on here. I think I had this on cassette at some point, and there was a song on here I really liked. But I can't remember which one it was right off the top of my head. This was on Star Song, and it's 1990. I found another Twila, and it is 2003. This is Twila Paris, House of Worship. Yeah, produced by Brown Bannister, who I think has produced Amy Grant a number of times. Well-known producer. Next, well, speaking of Amy Grant, there we go. Rock of Ages. Hymns of Faith. Hymns and Faith. I think my buddy Dave told me this was a really good album. And it's got some of the stuff that you would expect. It looks like it's even got a remake of El Shaddai, which was the Michael Card tune that she made famous. Nicole C. Mullen, live from Cincinnati, bringing it home. Fantastic artist. Her husband, David Mullen, I'm a big fan of his. He is a brilliant songwriter. Louisville's own Don Francisco. This is Come Away. This should be, I'm guessing this would probably be very acoustic oriented. Looking at the credits, I don't see anybody I recognize right away. But, yeah, Don Francisco. Also kind of in that vein, Michael Card, known by the Scars. I think this is part of his trilogy on the life of Jesus. That's a 1989 Sparrow release. Next up, Did not put these, I don't know if I put these in order or not, but it's Selah, um, Rose of Bethlehem. My interest in this group is this young lady. Her name is Nicole Sponberg, but I believe it was Nicole Smith before, but she is a great voice. I like to listen to her sing. And that is a 2002 Curb Records release. This is a 2001 Curb Records. Selah, Press On. Not much to... Then we got a solo album from Nicole Sponberg called Resurrection. This is a 2004 recording. I have not had most of these CDs before, so that's why I'm not elaborating that, and there are so many. Now, like this group a lot. It's new song, All Around the World. That's a Benson release and from 1993. Then we got the very best of new song. This is a Reunion Records 2005 recording. And nothing to see on the inside. There's a song list. All right, now we got Newsboys, Going Public. Not my favorite band, but they do some nice stuff. This was produced by the great Steve Taylor. And Newsboys, Not Ashamed. Big Daddy Weave. Found another one of Big Daddy Weave. This is Every Time I Breathe. This next one was kind of unusual. It's a Casting Crowns musical, I guess. So I don't know what this will sound like. Prodigal is the name of the CD, but it says a musical for contemporary choir based on the songs of Casting Crowns. Here's the track listing. Trying to see if I recognize any of the songs. Not off the top of my head, I don't recognize those. Then I found another kind of unusual on the prestigious Cracker Barrel label. Actually, I do like the stuff that comes out in the restaurant. They, when I come out of there, I usually stop at the music thing and look and see what they've got, because I found some good stuff. This looks like a hymns album. But well, of course, Casting Crowns, Glorious Faith. Or Casting Crowns, Glorious Day, Hymns of Faith. So this is probably really good. Getting toward the end. Let's speed it up a little bit. Audio Adrenaline Bloom. Looks like it was a promo copy with the sticker on the front. This has got, I had this at one point. This has got the really good cover of Free Ride on it. Picture of the band on the inside. Then I found some Switchfoot. This is Vice Versa. CD was flipped. Switchfoot, Fading West. Oh man, probably my favorite group out of the whole bunch. Tagarmo and Key. This is the greatest hits album called Destined to Win, the classic rock collection. I have most of what's on here, but it does have 2 new tracks, Color Me Gone and I'll Come Out Fighting For You. So for $1, I wasn't going to leave it. And then finally, I'm assuming this is a Christian band. It's probably a metal band. Probably looks along the lines of, say, War of Ages. This is The Word Alive. Watch, it won't even be Christian at all. Somebody will call me out, I guess, if it isn't. Yeah, I don't know anything about this band, but it looked like it was coming down the same road as War of Ages, so I went ahead and grabbed it. So that is the big pile of Christian stuff. So I'm going to sign off. For me, for Jake, I think Aretha's back here. Hope you're having a great weekend. We'll see you for part 2 real soon.